Hello and welcome to today's video. I am currently in the middle of finally packing for my trip to Japan. Now this trip has been a long time in the making. I was originally supposed to do a version of this trip back in 2020, but the universe had other ideas. So it's now September 2025 and I am getting ready to head to Japan and I can't wait. It's not the sole reason for going, but a big reason for going on this trip is to do some stationery shopping. So I'm visiting, a few cities, and I've got like a list of stationery shops in each that I'll be going to. I'll be making a little bit of content while I'm there, but I really just want to go and enjoy experiencing it. The last time I was in Japan was before I got really heavily involved in stationery. I love stationery and I did some stationery shopping, of course, but wasn't really into it in the same way I am now. So today's video, I'm going to go over a very quick look at what I'm carrying. It's super minimal because I really want to buy quite a lot of stuff while I'm there. I've got a list of things I'm looking for in particular, and then I just also want to be surprised and buy what I like. So firstly, I'll be carrying this stuff in this. This is my Bellroy Classic Sling. It's a great sling and it holds things like, pen cases and notebooks and things beautifully, as well as my wallet and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be carrying it in this, but that's not what we're looking at today. So firstly, let's talk about paper. So I have my traveler's notebook here. This is my olive edition. I've had it for a few years. I've used it sort of on and off as well, along with other traveler's notebooks I have in my setup. So you can see I have 4 notebooks and then the plastic sleeve in there. So if I just open this up, I won't go into too much detail because it includes all my itinerary and everything. So the first notebook in here is specific to the Japan trip. It's just a simple grid notebook. That's my preferred one. In here is like packing lists, shopping lists, lists of places to eat, coffee, things I'm looking for, all that kind of stuff. It's really my planning and my, getting ready to explore stuff. Then here I have a sketchbook from, the Travelers Company sketchbook. I really like this because the paper's just a little heavier and I like to doodle and sketch and things as I go around, but also I want to be able to collect, stamps and all that kind of stuff, and the slightly heavier paper is going to be really nice for that. So this becomes like a bit of a travel journal, junk journal, all that kind of stuff as I go. Next is my standard daily notebook where I, once again, another grid one. This is where I'm doing my basic everyday planning at the moment, sort of before the trip and for after the trip. So daily lists, once again, all those kinds of like project pages, all those kinds of things. And then I've just got the diary. So this is the, the weekend notes version for the second half of the year. This one comes in 2 volumes. I'll be using these again next year. But this is the standard setup that I carry. This is what I enjoy using. It's a little bit bulky because it's got the extra notebook for the Japan trip. And then normally I'd only have the 3 sketchbook, planning and diary. But for this trip, that's quite nice. That fits beautifully in that bag. And of course, the paper is pretty fountain pen friendly. And we'll be talking about the fountain pens I'm taking in just a second. Before we talk about the fountain pens, let's talk about what I carry sort of as a wallet, if you will. And it's this. This is the zip clutch from Alpaca. I love this for traveling. Firstly, it's RFID, protective. And lots of people debate the need for that. But I thought my theory is, why take the risk? In the front here, I have my wingback mechanical pen, which I really enjoy. This is the limited edition with Fram, the clothing company from the UK. This is a really great pen. It's got the Fisher Space refill in it. So, it's kind of, it will write anywhere. There's no risk of it. It's beautiful and it writes beautifully on a Field Notes notebook, which I carry in the back there. So that allows me to do my sort of jotting down as I go on during the day without having to get the full traveler's notebook out. Simple things like, if I need to go grocery shopping and those kinds of things. And then the main pouch, I keep my passports and my cards. So it's all protected. It's all well looked after. And once again, that goes beautifully with the traveler's notebook into my bag. Now, before I do a writing sample with all the pens, I'll show you what I'm carrying. So first I've got my little Galen leather 3-pen pouch here, which I've been using for a long time. I love this Crazy Horse leather. Then I've got my Pilot vanishing point or capless, depending on where you are in the world. This is just the chrome and black version. I've got it with a medium nib. This is going to go sort of in that bag or in my shirt pocket, those kinds of things. I like to have a fountain pen with me on the go, and the convenience of something like this as you're traveling is really, really cool. And then I've got the Wren from Tom's Studio. Now, the Wren is a fiber tip pen that uses fountain pen ink. This is just one of those simple little pens I can chuck literally in my pocket, and if I need to do any writing at any point, it's right there. It feels nice, and it's just something I really just enjoy carrying. And then in the Galen, here are my the main pens I'm sort of taking. So I've got 3 in here. I've got the Gravitas Monster, which it has a review coming up. This one is it's a pen I like writing with, but I'm also testing it to see how that shut-off valve and all that kind of stuff works. And I've got a Sailor Pro Gear with a hard medium nib. Just such a beautiful little pen. I decided the 2 main pens I'm taking are Japanese pens, seeing as I'm going to Japan. I will be buying a number of pens as well, and very much looking forward to that. But yeah, so Sailor Pro Gear, hard medium nib, and then the Pilot Custom Heritage 912 with its regular medium nib as well. That's my preferred nib size. I know that this pen comes in a huge range of nibs, but in the end, I want it to be for everyday writing, and that's what I like for everyday writing. For the writing portion today, I've got my Baron Fig Confidant here, which is a notebook I carry around a lot. It's not coming to Japan with me, but it's a notebook I've used for these kinds of things a lot, so I'm going to continue to do that. Let's start with the Wren here from Tom's Studio. One thing I will say at this point is that there are some of these brands that I am affiliated with. So in the video description to this video, you'll find links to Baron Fig and Tom's Studio, and Wingback Alpaca is there as well. So something like this zip clutch or any of the slings or little pocket bags, things like that I've shown on this channel, just check out the links below and yeah, get a little discount and throw some support in the way of my channel. So let's start with the Tom's Studio Wren. Okay, so this is, as I said, it's a fiber tip pen, and the ink in this is one of the Tom's Studio. This is Midnight. What I like about this is that it's not super wet, so it can write on sort of anything and get away with it, and it's pleasant to write with, and it's convenient. And I recently did a post on that I let this, when I was on tour, this pen didn't come with me on tour. I was on tour for like, 3 months? And when I came back, I opened it up, put the nib on the page, and it wrote perfectly. So that's a really good sign that, after 3 months of sitting on my desk, it still wrote absolutely perfectly. Next, we will do the Wingback mechanical pen. So this is a ballpoint, and this one is the stainless steel bead blasted version. So it's a limited edition collaboration with Fram there. I adore this. The weight of this, the size of it, the feel of it, like just beautiful in the hand, really convenient. That Fisher Space refill, like pressurized, so it will write upside down, it writes, underwater, all that kind of stuff, but just more to the point, it's just reliable and will write whenever you need it to. I love this refill. It's my favorite sort of ballpoint refill. That and probably the Jetstream, sort of stock standard stuff these days. But yeah, those 2 are like nice everyday carry non-fountain pens that can get me through just about any situation. Now let's talk about the fountain pens. As I said, I'm going to have my vanishing point or capless in my pocket. So we've got the Pilot. We'll call it the vanishing point because that's what I always referred to it as back in the day. And it's got its 14K medium nib. It's just really lovely. The ink in this is just Pilot Iroshizuku Tsukiyo. And I use this with cartridges. I will admit that. I use this with cartridges just for the convenience of being able to have one in my bag. in case it runs out. And so I'll travel with a couple of extras just in case. But love writing with this pen. It's just a gift on the page. It really is. And the convenience. You know, I know there's a lot of Jinhaos and Moonmans and all that kind of stuff that are doing versions of this almost exact model. But really nothing compares to the Pilot. The fact that it just doesn't dry out. The mechanism works so well. The nibs are so great. You just, you know, the build quality, everything. It doesn't compare. So, next, Gravitas Monster. This is a really interesting pen. I've done a first impressions video. The full review is coming. So check that out when it comes out. Check out the first impressions now if you like. But it's just a really, really cool pen. And this is a stainless steel number 8 broad nib, and the ink in this is diamine. Kensington blue. Like, it writes so smooth, and especially if you open up that valve occasionally on the back, so wet and juicy, and it's just such a beautifully enjoyable writing experience, and the pen body and the tolerances and all that, just really, really great. So that's going to be one of those pens that's a nice, big, robust pen. Great for things like headers. You'll notice that I've got 3 blue fountain pen inks here, but different blues, and enjoyable because I like blues. Following along from that, the Pilot Custom Heritage 912. With its medium nib, and that is a 14 karat gold medium nib. And the ink in this is one that Kobe, this is number 7, Kaikyo blue. This is a really cool ink. It's rich and dark. It's basically a blue black, but I just think it's really gorgeous. And in this pen, it writes so well. I love this pen for everyday writing. It's not super wet, but it's definitely wet enough. It just puts out a beautiful line on the page. I can write with this for hours and hours and not even notice I'm writing. It's just such a comfortable pen. Great for journaling, great for doing things like writing in my lyrics to help memorize them. Superb everyday writer, the Pilot Custom Heritage 912. And then lastly, the Sailor Pro Gear, which is a pen that doesn't get as much use in my setup as it used to. I've sort of moved towards more things like the Custom Heritage 912 from Pilot. But this is the Sailor Pro Gear with its hard medium nib, and that is that's a 21 karat gold nib, beautiful nib. And the ink in this is Sailor Ink Studio. I think this is 967. No. It's 970, I think, actually. It's the kind of ink color I don't use that often, but when I do, I really love it. It sort of sits in that weird browny, green, yellowy kind of area, but it makes a nice distinction from the dark blues. So the way these inks will sort of get used, think of the Pilot Custom Heritage as sort of like an everyday writer when I'm sitting down with my journal or my notebook, that kind of thing. The Pilot Vanishing Point will be with me on the go. The Gravitas Pens Monster is being tested and will be reviewed, after the trip. But I'll use that for things like headers and things, as will the Sailor Pro Gear here with the Ink Studio 970 in it. So just a bit of difference for things like headers on to-do lists and those kinds of things. So that is my little setup here for this trip to Japan. It's not so much what I'm taking as what I will buy that is of interest. I'm really looking forward to just sort of exploring these beautiful stores that I've been looking at online for years and watching other people travel there and just really wanting to go. And this is going to be a great opportunity to go and explore them and just buy a few pens, buy some notebooks, buy some ink, gel pens, stickers, washi tapes, all that stuff that I love. So this video is going to go live, I think, towards the end of my trip to Japan. I'm filming it ahead of time, but I always film, up to 2 to 3 weeks ahead, sometimes even more than that. But I just wanted to show what I was taking, and hopefully you found some of this interesting. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. Please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, all that kind of stuff. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, I'd love to hear from you. As I said, if some of these products interest you, check out the video description. There are some affiliate links there: Alpaca, Wingback, Tom's Studio, Baron Fig, a couple of other brands. So check those out and see what, and as I said, get yourself a little discount and throw some support in the way of this channel. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll see you when I'm back in Australia.